Hello everybody, it's Tina at Tina Stitches. Welcome to my channel. Today is May 26th. It is 1:45 in the afternoon. We're having some wonderful sunshine, but the air is a little bit crisp. We've had some nice warm days and then it cooled down and rained, and today is sunny but cool. And that's okay. I know a lot of people down in the States are having some really extreme weather. I hope everybody's keeping safe, staying dry. Yeah. So let's get on with the stitching. And I realize now that I forgot my notebook where I keep track of everything, so we're going to wing it. I did glance at it this morning, well, about an hour ago, to see which projects I had to bring in here. So I got the projects, but I forgot the notes. I've been a member of a stitching group online for a long time, and it got kind of quiet over on that group, so I thought I would introduce some challenges like they do on some of the other groups, just to get the, people commenting and such. And so I installed a Tiny Decisions app on my phone. It started off to be just for that, and then I ended up adding my whips onto it because. And I know some people will empathize with this. Sometimes you have so many whips. I used to be a monogamous stitcher, and now I'm stitching all the things. I also have a dog over there who wants to go outside. Another one sleeping on the floor. So we'll see how this goes. Anyways, when you have a lot of whips to choose from, it's kind of like trying to decide what to have for dinner. That's the way I look at it, and your honey looks at you and says, "What do you want for dinner?" And it's like, I don't know. Well, what do you want to stitch on? I don't know. There's so many things to stitch on. And sometimes you get bored of something. You get bored of Chinese food, but then, a month later, hey, let's have some Chinese food. It's that kind of thing. So I decided that if I get in a mood like that, then I have my Tiny Decisions app to just push a button and it can make the decision for me. And it picked a really good one this week. I picked something that I haven't worked on for a long time. And it was nice to get some good progress on that. And I will show you that in a little bit. My Maynia is still going strong. I worked on 3 more new starts. One of them was the same day that I filmed my last video, so I'm pretty sure you didn't see this. And worked on one that I had already started. I've been taking that one to work, doing it there. And I've worked on 2 older whips. And Beloved, of course. You'll get to see that. I also have a finish. So, before we go any further, I just want to make sure that I have my note in front of me. I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of shiny, but I keep forgetting details. So hopefully that will help me remember to tell you everything you need to know. So the first Maynia project that I picked up was, since my last video, Dad Quadrille by the Sweetheart Tree. I only now realize that there's, it shows all the pictures, all 4 sides on there. So, I'm going to have to start a pile back here. That's what it looked like. There's no before picture. There's just a, here it is now. And there are threads all over the place because I just stitched what was visible in the Q-snap. So here is my progress. So yeah, I went this far with this thread, and that's where the edge of the Q-snap was. Same with over there, and then I went in with the green. And that's as far as I got. I don't know how well you can see that. So that is the center of the design for the Dad Quadrille. You know, I kept thinking it was a T in there, but apparently it's not. It's a D. Quadrille. So that's decent progress for one day. The next project, and I don't, there's 2 more starts, but I'm not entirely sure of the order they were started in, which one was started first. It's going to be some crinkling here. This is Whispered by the Wind pattern. Okay, see, I already screwed up. So, the Dad Quadrille pattern is stitch on the kit. This is all stitched with the kit fabric and such, which I believe is 32 count lamb's wool linen. .28 count platinum cashel. Gonna be honest, it doesn't look like platinum to me. It looks like lamb's wool. But anyways, well, that's the back of my stitching. Stitched with the kit contents. This one is Beneath the Harvest Moon by Whispered by the Wind. There is no before picture because this is a new start. And I am stitching it with the called for threads on a piece of the Nocturne Belfast that I had remaining from the large piece that I ordered for the Christmas Eve couriers. And there it is. That's my start. It's really washed out in this light. I kind of wanted it to have this act like the shadow. So that's why I placed it where it is. So there's that. And the next new start this next one I've had kitted up for a while. I've purchased half of the silks that were required, but I didn't go for the whole, all of them, because I was going to sub out where the dark brown is. And this is Peacock Sampler by the Victoria Sampler. It is beautiful. So I had the teals and the greens, the blues. I had quite a few of the silks already purchased, but I do need to get a few more. And this was, I got it as soon as it came out, 2016. And this is being stitched on a piece of mystery fabric that I've had in my stash. And I actually had it with the book, like all kitted up, since I got the pattern. It calls for, I believe, 28 count. It's a very detailed book. There's a lot of specialty stitches in this one. .28 count. I'm pretty sure I'm stitching it on 28 count. It's a creamy color, like a ecru. Okay, so the dogs were freaking out because the husband came home. So they're all settled down, and now I can continue this video. So the project I was talking about, Peacock Sampler by Victoria Sampler. And here's my start. Tiny overwun stitches. That is the peacock tail in the center of the design. And there are 3 colors in this section, and of course one of them is the one I decided not to go with. So shortly after, I went on to, I had to go on to 123 Stitch to buy a gift certificate for a friend, and so I decided to go ahead and get the silks that I'm missing. And for this one and for is there another project I'm doing in silks? I don't know. I ordered a few silks, not a lot. I did go and look, because I do have some projects with silks, I did look at those and see if I could steal from the one for the few stitches I would need. And I think I was able to find one thread in common with another project. So they're going to be sharing threads. So there's that one, and it is beautiful. I, as always, would like to stitch more on that. You know how that goes. So, those are the 3 new starts. Trying not to make a lot of noise here. And the rest that I have to show are whips. 2 whips. And you haven't seen these for a while. So, the first one that I'm going to show you is one that I started in washing machine. I think the husband's got it. So I did go get my notebooks, and this one that I'm going to show you I started in September 2018, and dogs are being jerks. Okay, they went away. So I started this in 2018. There was the Australians, a few of the Australian Flosstubers are stitching on Maybia queens of the seasons, in the seasons that they happen. So, for instance, in autumn, they were starting the autumn queen, and so on and so forth. And I don't have all of the queens, but I have this other project which I wanted to start, and so I did. And I picked it up again to work on, and this is stitched on, let's show a before picture. That's the wrong order. Okay, this is stitched on 32 count. I left the tag in the project bag, but I'm pretty sure it's lavender something. It was a fabric of the month from Xjude Designs, and I am working on Dressmaker's Daughter, and this is what it looks like. And so I started on spring because they started in September, and that is spring in Australia. So spring, and then I started on summer when it became winter here in Canada, and then I started on autumn when it's spring. So it's a little bit backwards, but I'm still enjoying it. So I started autumn, and I will insert a picture here of the little bit that was started. And here it is now. So before I only had a little bit of this yellow, and so I picked up the bright red, worked on the apples and the orange in her dress. And Gonzo's being a jerk. And that's where that is. Let's see if he just calms down. And the next one that I worked on is one that I started as a stitch along with another buddy. One of these for all of you who are wondering, Gonzo is doing fine. His he's back to his usual self. Grumpy, wants attention. Yeah. So, you know, he's being a bit of a pest right now. He won't come in the room, and he sits outside and barks because he probably wants food, but he's on a diet, so that ain't gonna happen. Okay, so I was telling you about this next project is the one where I was talking about I spun the wheel on the Tiny Decisions app because I didn't know what I was going to stitch. I picked I had spun the wheel for our group to decide what the challenge would be, and it was 100 stitches on blue, or with blue. And so I spun the wheel because I did not know, I have so many things with blue, did not know what I was going to stitch on. And it picked something that I hadn't stitched on for a long time. And I will try to find a before picture and insert it here. And it is Maybia Crystal Christmas. It really, the yellows, the picture doesn't really show very well. So here is where I am now. So I got quite a bit of progress done. I worked on her, and from here the white was done, but not the darker shades, and that green was done, and I think the one shade. So this whole section here is what I stitched. And the blue is over here. I mean, her mitts are kind of blue, but this is definitely blue. The Fa La La special, what do they even call that now? The fringe, wispy fringe floss, which I did not do very much stitching in that yet. But this is as far as I am. There's basically no stitching, over here, as you can see. I'm stitching this along with a friend, Georgia. She is stitching the companion piece, and I will insert a picture here of what that looks like. And she has 4 of the 5 cherubs done. I think there's 5, yeah, and she's got 1 left, so I need to catch up. That's why I got my snail needle minder from Denkai Designs. It was a freebie in one of the packages to remind me how slow I am. Need to pick it up. And she just finished her chatelaine, so now she's going to probably pick this up and kick my butt. So this one, I need to pick it up more. But because I only needed 100 stitches and I got probably like 400, 500 or 600 done there, I switched out the project, and that's when I picked up Dressmaker's Daughter. So anyways, let's hope we see this one a little more often. And stitched on the called for fabrics, a 32 count white linen from Witchelt is probably what it is. And I made the Grand Guard. Now, the last whip that I have, sorry, zipper, is one that I started earlier in Maynia, and took it to work. Sorry, I keep hearing the washing machine. I know my husband's down there, so he's gonna be cursing a storm. And I started this, not exactly sure which day. This is over here. Time to Stitch by Needlework Press, and I am doing the version to go in the clock, so it's over 1 on, I believe this is 28 count linen, something I had in my stash, Feels like the same linen that Crystal Christmas has worked on. I'll have to check my count size. But anyways, here's the before picture. And here's where I am now. And I am changing the colors, as you can see. I stuck with the tin bucket for the main numbers and letters, and I am using what am I using? It's red. Cranberry by Gentle Arts. For the smaller details. And I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed this, but halfway through stitching this, I realized, and it just occurs to me that it's a little bit odd that they have the numbers repeating in Roman numerals in between. It didn't occur to me until I was here that I was doing that. I still like it. I'm going to continue with it, and I have a clock piece ordered so that I can turn this into an actual clock. Hopefully hopefully the hands of the clock are the right size. And there's that. Don't think there's any needle minders or anything on there that I need to make note about. So I have a finish. It's hanging up right over there, and I bet you guys want to see that. And I did not bring in my project bag to show you the pattern or any of that, but I will insert a picture of what it looked like before here. And here it is now. It is 100% finished. I started this on my birthday, and I worked on it off and on. I know there was periods where it was put away for a while, and then I saw other stitchers working on it, and I decided to pull it out again. And I've been working on it pretty regularly, and here it is finished. This is Alice by RETM. It is stitched on 32 count opalescent fabric that I dyed myself. And I made quite a few changes. I did not change the pattern itself. Mich Stitch, if you don't follow her. You can go check out her channel and see the design changes that she made. But most of mine is just the thread changes. The original pattern is charted in all DMC, and I changed it to almost all overdyes. And I just love the way it turned out. I really like that dress. And there is Alice. And I had a hard time deciding what color to use for her dress, and it is not as washed out as it's showing up. It is brighter than that, or darker actually than that. Let's see if I turn it. I got artificial light from one side and real light from the other. So it is Karen Water Lilies. I'll insert the name here. So that is silk thread. And for the rabbit, I did use just white thread for the rabbit himself, but I changed the clock to be treasure braid and Krynic for the hands. I believe the number is 011 HL braid for the hands, which is the same color I used for this key here, and this key here is the same as the clock outline, and that key is another petite treasure braid. And I used the Krynic on the door handle there. So let's finish. That is ready to be framed, and the pattern is going to be gifted to my friend. She's we're exchanging patterns, so it's already spoken for. There it is. And the only thing I might change is I did sign it, but I signed it in right there. It's not going to focus. In the thread that is it just vanishes. So I'm probably going to change that, but that doesn't affect it at all. Now, on my last video, for those of you who stuck through to the end, you know there's a giveaway. If you want to be entered in this giveaway, go to the last video, watch it all the way to the end, or just skip to the end, leave a comment there, and you'll be entered in the giveaway. The comments that I will be picking from are on that video. I will not be picking from this video. But one of the comments that was left, I don't have her name, but she had commented about Alice by Jardin Privé, which I'm not sure if she had seen my previous videos, but I haven't shown this one for a while. And so there's my version of the Alice de Marseilles, I believe, by Jardin Privé. And again, a conversion. Now you can see all the reflections. So this is my conversion of that pattern, stitched last year, finished just before my birthday, I believe, so I could start this other Alice that I just finished. Now I can start another Alice and have two of them. I have more than two, but two that are high up on that ready to start list. So I just thought I would share this one more time. And again, I added metallics for the watch and the key. I believe those are the same metallics. So there's that. And that's why I had it back there. I'll just set it there for now. What else do I have to share? That's all my whips. Had 3 new starts. Oh, wait a minute. I know somebody's probably yelling at me. That's not all the whips. So, you're right. This whip is one that features most prominently in almost all my videos. And I guess you can say I saved the best for last. I will have to insert a picture because I don't know where my cover page is. And of course, we're talking about Beloved. This is Beloved by Adele Sessler, charted by Haid. Here's a picture where it was before. And as you can see, here is where it is now. I have made great progress in this area here. I am stitching the 3 columns 300 stitches wide down for the full page to make my to get my stitches to count for the full coverage fanatics. 1200 stitches, because I'm stitching this 2/1 on 25 count even weave linen by Zweigart, 2 strands over 1 half cross. And my needle minder is by Kelmscott Design. No, it's not. My needle minder looks like it could be made by Kelmscott Designs, but it's one that I made myself. And all that I have left to do is a few stitches down in the very bottom right there, and then that section will be finished. And that would be half a page. So I just have 1.5 pages left for this section, and then it'll be scrolled up and hidden for a long, long time. Because I believe that, well, I know that this blue line that is just barely visible there, I can see it from this side, but you can't. That's the halfway mark. So, let's see if I tilt it enough. Will you see it? No. If I show you my back, there it is. And there's my back. So, that one I have been stitching on very regularly. I would say every day, but it has not been quite every day. There may be a day or two where it's not on the desk because I'm doing other stuff. So, now I'm pretty sure I've covered everything. We've got the whips, we've got the finishes, I even showed you a previous finish, and pretty sure I gave you all the details about all of the fabrics and such. So, next time I see you will be in about 2 weeks, and I might have 3 more new starts because I am crazy. I'm a maniac. I showed you all my Maynia choices from earlier. I showed you all my Maynia pieces, and I pulled the three that were left, and one of the reasons why I didn't start them was because I didn't have them exactly fully kitted. I didn't have fabric or floss. I had fabric, but it wasn't cut, it wasn't zigzagged, and one of them didn't even have floss with it. So I am prepared now. Those 3 can be started. There's no reason why not. I might even have a clock finished. I might even have, I'm not going to promise any more than that. I should have at least Beloved's, that little chunk left before I work on to the next column. And yeah, like I said, Gonzo, our senior puppy, he is doing much better now on the new regimen of eye ointment and medicine, which is, it's funny because it's actually eye drops that we put in his food. Yeah. I work at a pharmacy, so that's not the craziest thing I've heard. Yeah. So, if you want to be entered into the contest, check out the last video, and I guess I can leave a link to that below for those of you who may not be able to find it. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, Tina Stitches 74. I try to put pictures up there. Sometimes I go silent, I guess, because like for the last week, well, the week before last, I had been working on Alice, and honestly I was hoping to show it in the video before I showed it on Instagram, the finish. So for those of you who are a few days behind, you might see it on Instagram first. Anyways, I am going to leave now and try to get this all mashed together, because that takes a while, and try to get a video out as soon as I can after June 6th, I believe is what I said for the draw date. You can check that out on the other video, and I will keep on stitching and show you what I have left then. Bye.